Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, we are going to see how we can create and attach new EBS volumes to our EC2 instances. So let us see what we are going to study through this video. First of all, we will be creating two EC2 instances, one with the operating system of Linux and other with Windows, and we will be seeing that how we can attach a new volume, that is your Elastic Block storage, to these EC2 instances. Then of course in the second step we have to create two new volumes, and then in the third step we will be attaching them, and then we will be visualizing that whether these two instances have been attached with new volumes or not. Right? So before starting this hands-on, let us first have an overview that what do we really understand by an elastic block storage. Now, an Amazon EBS volume is nothing but a durable block level storage device that we can attach to our instances. After we attach a volume to an instance, we can use it as we would use any physical drive. You can use EBS as a primary storage of data that requires frequent updates, such as the system drive for an instance or the storage for your database applications. You can also store them for throughput intensive applications to perform continuous disk scans. For this purpose, we have different types of EBS volumes that we are going to visualize during our hands-on session. EBS volumes persist independently from the running life of an EC2 instance. Right. So we have two different types of volumes which are actually attached to our EC2 instance. The first one is your instance store, right? But the instance store is not a persistent volume that actually get deleted as soon as you terminate your EC2 instance, or the data in an instance store get vanished if the EC2 instance is stopped actually. But the persistent storage is always required when you work on real-time applications. So EBS is the answer for that particular problem. So EBS is persistent and it has an independent lifetime with compared to your EC2 instances. It is actually used by attaching to an EC2 instance, but it can persist independently. Now, so we can attach multiple EBS volume to a single instance, right? Remember, multiple EBS to a single instance. You cannot attach one single EBS volume to multiple instances, but it is only possible with EBS multi-attach. What it is, we are going to see now. The volume and the instance must be in the same availability zone. Now this point is really very important, and this we are going to visualize in our hands-on session as well. We will be creating certain EBS volumes in different availability zone than that of your EC2 instances, and we will be visualizing that we won't be able to connect to them, right? We won't be able to attach our EBS volumes to the EC2 instances which are in separate availability zones, right? So that is something really very important, and we have to remember that also. Depending upon the volume and the instance type that we have created, we can use a new concept which is known as EBS multi-attach, right, to mount a volume to multiple instances at same time. Now, in the first point, we have seen that we can attach multiple EBS volume to a single instance, but the vice versa is not actually possible. So before it was not possible, but now your Amazon have actually introduced the EBS multi-attach, in which if we have provisioned Amazon EBS provisioned IOPS IO1 and IO2 volumes actually, then it is possible to have EBS multi-attach. EBS multi-attach means you will be having one EBS volume attached to several EC2 instances, but those EC2 instances should be of AWS Nitro system based EC2 instances, and they should be in same availability zone. So we will be working on T2 Micro because we stick our hands on to the free tier, so we won't be able to see this, but yes, it is possible to have EBS multi-attach up to 16 AWS Nitro system based Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud, but the condition is they should be in same availability zone, right? So now let us go back to our Amazon Management Console and let's see how we can actually create and attach new EBS volume to our EC2 instances. So as you can see that I have already logged into my AWS Management Console, and the first step of this hands-on will be of creating two EC2 instances, right? So I will be quickly launching two EC2 instances. As you can see that currently I do not have any running instance. So I will be clicking on instance new and launch instances. So the first instance which I will be creating will be of Linux. So Linux 2 AMI I have selected. T2 Micro I will be sticking to free tier. Everything will be left as default. Add storage. See now at this page which says add storage, what we are getting over here, we are getting over here a root volume, right? uh, at the launching time only. If I want to add a volume to my EC2 instance at the launch time, I can click over here and a new ABS block will be added. I can also modify how many gigs I want. So if I want to make it 16 or if I want to make it 20, I can do it. If I want to change the volume type, as I was telling you that there is several types of EBS volumes that are available with us. That is a general purpose, that is GP2 and GP3. We have provisioned IOPS, that is IO1 and IO2, for which multi-attach is possible now. We have cold HDD and we have throughput optimized, and the magnetic standard is used before, long before. So all those types of ABS volumes are actually available, and we can use them as per our use cases. So if we require more IOPS, then we can go for provisioned IOPS. If we want ourselves, our volumes to be throughput intensive, we can go for the HDD ones, right? So here I will not be attaching any EBS volume here because I want to attach it, independently and show that yes, they actually can exist independently of your EC2 instances, and we can create or attach volumes at runtimes also, right? So I am leaving this particular page as it is and going back to tags. So of course I will be naming my EC2 instance because this time I will be creating two instances. So this will be my Linux instance, right? My Linux EC2 security group. I will be going for the existing security group which have SSH enabled, and I will be launching an instance with my existing Linux key pair. So I have launched one instance right now, which is the Linux instance, right? So if I can view that this instance is now been creating. So now let us quickly launch another instance. Click on free tier eligibility only, and the next step will be going to a Windows server, right? So I am going to take this AMI, that is server 2019, select it. Again, I will be sticking to T2 micro only, right? And go to instances. Everything will be as it is. And again, I got the same page. I can add volume from here also, but I will not be doing that. Add tags. I will be naming my EC2 instance as my window instance, right? My window EC2 security group. This time I will be requiring only RDP so that I can attach to it. I will be launching it with my existing Windows key. I acknowledge and launch. So now I have quickly launched my two EC2 instances, one with the Linux AMI and another one with my Windows AMI. So if I go on view instances, you can see that my Linux one is actually now been running, and the window will be soon coming to the running state. One thing which I will be actually making you show over here is the availability zone. See, I haven't selected any availability zone while creating my EC2 instances. I left it over AWS's preference, right? So here AWS have selected by default for me US East 1B availability zone for both of my instances, and now you can see that both of them are in the running state. So actually what I'm going to do over here is if you click on any one of the instance, you can get the information related to it. So if you go on storage, you can see that there is only one block attached to it, that was attached as the root device type at the launch time only. Similarly, if I will be clicking on my Windows instance, you can see only one block attached to it, right? So what we can do is we can go to the Elastic Block Store tab over here and click on volumes, right? So this is where we can see that the volumes are in use. That means the volumes are attached to my EC2 instances. So you can see the name of my EC2 instances. I have a one EBS volume attached to my Windows EC2 instance and another one attached to my Linux, and you can see the state in use. That means they are currently being attached to my EC2 instances. Now what I'm going to do over here, I will be creating two volumes. So first of all, I will be creating one volume over here. I will be sticking to general purpose because I want my hands-on to be free tier eligible, and I will be taking 20 gigs of memory, right? And remember that here we have to select the availability zone. Know that our EBS volumes are, AZ specific, right? So here it is necessary to select the same availability zone in which we have our EC2 instance. So that is why I have mentioned that it is US East 1B. So I've selected this one over here. I'm not creating any snapshot, or I am not even encrypting the volume, but yes, I will be actually naming my volume so that I can identify that this one is for my Linux instance. So I'm naming it as Linux volume and just simply click on create volume, close, and now you can see my Linux volume is now being created. It is available. That means it shows that yes, our volumes can exist independently of our EC2 instances, but it is currently available into my account, but it is not in use, right? So quickly following the same steps, let me now just create another 20 gigs of volume, and this time again I will be making sure that it should have the same availability zone, keeping everything by default, but naming it again for my Windows volume, right? So I have just created a tag and I'm just creating the volume, and now you can see that I have 4 volumes into my account, 2 in use and one is being created. After some time it will be available, and yes, it is now available, right? So now what actually we can do is we can click over our Linux volume, because now they are actually available but they are not in use, right? For changing the state from available to in use, I have to attach this volume to a EC2 instance. And here you can see that these are the volumes which are actually attached to the EC2 instances, but here there is no attachment information, right? So I have now clicked on the Linux volume, go to action and click on attach volume. And here you can actually search your EC2 instances. This is my Linux EC2 instance, right? So Linux volume for Linux EC2 instance, and simply click on attach. That is that simple. Follow the same step for your Windows EC2 Windows volume. So click on your Windows volume, go to action, click on attach volume, go to the instance type and select my window EC2, right? So there is no restriction. The EC2 instances can be running, right? So there is no need to stop the EC2 instances while attaching any volume to it, right? So we simply click on attach, and after refreshing, you can see that there is attachment information and the state changes to in use. So this is actually what we have seen, that it is very easy to, attach a volume or detach a volume. So if you want to even detach, right, there is a button called in actions detach volume. So by that you can actually detach the volume that is attached to your EC2 instances, right? So that is very simple. One more thing which I will be liking to tell you, that if I create a volume in a different availability zone, right? So this is, I'm creating a volume in 1A. The EC2 instances were in 1B, right? If I do this and if I change the tag to a volume in different AZ, right? And I will be just creating a volume and closing it, right? And after some time, this volume will be is available, right? So if I will be just clicking on this particular volume, going to action and click on attach volume, and you can see that it is showing that it exists in US East 1A, right? So if I will be clicking on here, I will be not finding any EC2 instances in this particular AZ. Therefore, it says that there is no matching running or stubbed instances in this AZ, so we cannot attach it to anyone, right? So it is really very necessary to have the EC2 instances and the created volumes in the same availability zone. Here I have only shown you how we can actually create and attach our EBS volume to our EC2 instances. I haven't shown you multi-attach because that is not free tier available. So for that we have to take Nitro instances and the IOPS one of our EBS types, right? So that is another thing. When we create a volume, we will be having an option of multi-attach and we can click over it so we can get that thing done for the multi-attach thing. So that is something very different. But here I will be, last thing that I will be liking to tell you is if I go to any one of my EC2 instance, and even if I refresh my management console and click on any one of it, right, you can still visualize that the root device name is only one, right? So we do not have any other, volume which we have actually created is not actually showing over here in both our EC2 instances. So the root device will be showing only one of the value. So even if we have created the volume, we have attached the volume to our EC2 instances, in order to use those volumes, we have to mount them, right? So there will be different steps for mounting the Linux volumes, and there will be different steps for mounting volumes in Windows AMI, right? So in the next video, we are going to see one by one how we can mount these EBS volume to our Linux instances as well as in our Windows instances. So I hope that this hands-on was a little bit informative to you guys. And for more such informations and more such hands-on, stay tuned to my channel. Thank you.